Hey y'all, what
Hey
is going
y'all.
on? We are back with another BMF episode recap. This is episode 6. It's getting real, it's getting intense. Lives have been lost. We're crying, we're screaming, we're throwing up. Would
Still not over the death of what's his name? The cop's son, Bryant's son. Poor
okay.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kev. That hit me so hard, obviously, because we got to know him last season. And then also, like you said, we saw what happened earlier this season when he was trying to tell him what
Mhm.
happened to him. And I just didn't think that it was in that way, but you saw it coming. It does not make it any easier. But anyways, we start off the episode with a bunch of different funerals going on in the same time
Yeah.
in both Detroit and in Atlanta. And, I'm not going to say I like how they did that, but that was an interesting aspect of what they were doing because, we had the little boy that passed away in Atlanta. We
Yeah, we
also
had
had
a
Rip that passed away.
Milton, Rip, and Kev. Um,
Hmm.
and it was really sad to see. I think the saddest part was definitely Kev for me personally, because we were
Yeah.
so invested in his character and just seeing what happens with him. And he was such a young man, and seeing
Yeah.
him in the system in the situation that he was in, um, that's just horrible. And it's actually making me have more of a softer spot for Detective Bryant, because I don't want this for anybody. I don't wish that on anybody, you know. Um,
I agree. I totally agree. And Terry was also mourning one of his fallen soldiers, and Bryant was just like, "Screw you," and threw him in the grave.
yeah, pushed his
So,
ass in the grave. I was like, damn. But Terry wants to end all of this, and we'll get into this. The gang
mhm.
takes a shot for Rip. That's what happens next to honor Rip's life. I really want them to put that song out, though. I'm not gonna lie. That should be top priority right now.
Yeah, because like on Raising Canaan, when Streets Need a Body was on, I actually listened to that in real life because I kind of ate Streets Need a Body.
They have some good ass songs on BMF. Like every now and then, I'm like,
On
who is singing?
in the background because that it's getting into more current, like the 90s and like the
Yeah.
older rappers and like the good, everyone loves 90s rap. But anyways, so Meech has a house, obviously, and now he has to deal with the homeowners association. And not only does he have to deal with that, but we also get a lesson about how homeowners associations came about, which is very interesting, and how obviously it contributes to like racism, the redlining that happens to the Black community, and it adds to Meech's problems.
And I thought that was really interesting because I have my own HOA fee. So just seeing how they were treating it, how like the FBI was in your ass just because you had a nice property. They wanted to
Right.
accuse you of doing like the most he has to be doing drugs. Even with the HOA lady, she's like, "Well, how did you get this car? Like, how are you able
Like I
to
won the
afford all
lotto.
this stuff?" And she's like,
Like, mind
mm-hmm.
your business. Mind your business. How
Yeah.
about that?
And I
He's
hate that
there.
it has to be one of us too.
Right. Another Black person hitting
Yeah,
on a Black person. When it's like at the end of the day, the people who are against us are against all of us. So
exactly.
how about
Uh,
that?
so afterwards, we see Lucille and Charles in the kitchen. They're making grits, and Charles, Nicole walks in and she's about to pour her orange juice, and she's like, "Are y'all getting back together? Because it looks like y'all are real cozied up and y'all are happy." And then
Mm-hmm.
Charles kind of smiles and he's about to say yes, but Lucille is like, "No, we're just over here making some grits. Like that is all. That's it. He will be back in the bedroom in a few days." Uh, but we can also
Lucille
see
shows her ass this episode.
she does. She really does. And I was so proud of her because this is what we wanted to see by getting her lick back. And she's doing it so classy too.
Right. She's not lying, cheating, and doing all
Hmm.
those things. Like even later in the episode, she straight up tells them what's going on.
And she also, I think it's interesting because we're also starting to see that she's taking into consideration what her pastor offered her as the pastor's assistant. And she's like, I don't feel like I would be fit for the position because our family is not the model family. Our sons are selling and slinging dope all around, and then on top of that, your ass just cheated, and I'm not going
Slinging
to fuck
dick.
with this doctor. Not gonna lie. So you know, it is what it
She doesn't
is.
want to be hypocritical, but the
Yeah.
gag is the most hypocritical people are in the church.
You ain't lied. So this is an
Ain't that
interesting
something?
insight. We also see that Charles is like not trying to hear that shit. He's like, I'm gonna get my family back and do what I need to do as a man to keep this family together. And he also says, you chose me over the doctor for a reason. And I thought, and that stuck with me because I still have my own theories when it comes to certain things that we'll get into.
Okay,
So,
well, we get back to
mhm.
Atlanta and Remy's friend slash, like he calls him his brother. He's basically like Meech kind of made a point. Maybe we should work with him because you see that we just got lit up, and Remy does not want to hear that shit. He's like, "Well, if you agree with Meech, then get your ass on."
Yeah, we see that he has more of a similar take as Meech in a sense. Like Terry is the more peaceful one and he tries to work out a plan, which I think Terry and his friend and Remy's right hand man are kind of like one and the same in that aspect. But
Mhm.
it's not gonna end well for Remy. I don't see that ending
Yeah,
well
because
at all.
you need to accept that olive branch.
He does, so they can come up with a plan. Detective Brian gets permanently terminated from the force, which is this is what I like to see. Although I can sympathize with him, I don't think that he needs to be a part of the force. And they even suspended Detective Veronica, which I agree. Like, I don't see why she would be a part of the force if you're every time we're looking at you, you're with Detective Brian. Like they're
Yeah,
walking, it got to the point where they're so bold, they're walking in the police station together. And this man is supposed
sadly.
to be suspended. Like it's way too much. So
And her partner just got killed. Like, hello. Which,
and
by the way, I you thought that she was gonna make it.
I did because I'm like they would have I felt like they would have showed that. So
It was very odd that they did it, and they didn't kind of like they didn't warn her really.
did
Like
she
they
just
didn't.
have to lead the show? Like, child,
I
god
don't
damn.
know. It's
Uh
crazy.
Terry also has a dream that Marquisha gets shot while they doing it. And I actually thought it
She's
was
just like,
real
no.
life. And I'm not gonna say my thoughts on that, but
I mean, if it was real life, that would go par with her characters that she plays in the 50 Cent
mhm.
universe. She's there, she says a few things, she looks sexy, and then she gets shot and she dies.
Because I want her to go anyway. Like I'm tired of her fucking up the game. And Luanda has caught on to that. So but Red Dogs have striked again. They are pulling people out of the car. They're doing the same thing. And this is with Meech's people. So he's now saying that the dog they had the dog chasing after Meech, backed up the car. He had to skedaddle. And so they have to get some control over that. But anyway, going to Lucille. Lucille,
Yes.
this was one of the most intense scenes I feel like in this episode specifically because she's trying to push on birth control to Nicole. She's like, and she gives her reasoning behind it, and she says, "I don't want you to be anything like me, or deal with what I'm dealing with, having to balance two niggas at one time. Like, I don't want you to have to
I
do
don't
that.
think that's what she meant.
I don't want you to have
She
to go
just
through
meant that
this."
she didn't want her to be stuck and like have to have settle for Charles and have these no good sons and this daughter that she has to look after and be with this cheating ass nigga when she has so much potential because she got pregnant at a young age.
And Nicole gets slick out the mouth, and she's like, "Well, I don't need the protection. Actually, you do, because the doctor has been calling this house a lot." When I said Lucille fucked Nicole up for a good like 2 seconds. Like you will not talk to me like that in this house. Period.
Say if you have something to say,
Say it respectfully. And
right,
she's
you need to
like,
come to me and say, Mama, I need to talk about something.
I
Like
thought that
your
was so
jokes.
funny though, because she got in Lucille's ass and Lucille was not prepared for that. But
Because she had already had the outburst at the dinner table, just like Miss Thing
you're
from
pushing it.
Ghost.
You're pushing
Like,
it.
okay, I let you have that, but now
I'm gonna get in that
you're
ass a
feeling
little
too
bit.
free. I
Now, my question for
don't even
you:
know if that was like written in the script. I think she freestyled that.
how she grabbed her chin? I just thought it was the natural, like, black mom instinct. Like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Exactly. Yeah, be for
Hey,
real.
hey. Now, do you think that her pushing this birth control on her, on Nicole, is going to make her want to have sex faster? Or do you think it's going to prepare her for what's to come?
Yeah, I think it's gonna make her like it's gonna pressure her too because it's like you're accusing me of something that I'm not even doing yet, and you're not even
Yeah.
giving me a chance. And now I'm talking to a guy actually, so you know what? I might be even more interested, and also you might be getting dick down with the doctor. So I guess,
Yeah. Tough. Uh,
chill.
in the next scene, Terry pitches a PowerPoint to Blaze because he's trying to get Henrietta to be exact, to be peaceful. And Henry's not trying to hear that shit. She's like, I will never uh be at peace with you. We will always be at war. I'm going to enjoy taking you out slowly. She has no plans of letting up off that beef. But Terry hopes that Blaze can convince her because, as we know, Blaze is Henrietta's father. Now,
Right,
with that whole thing, I liked how that went. I like to see that Blaze is reasonable, it seems, and he respected
right.
Terry for his approach. I like to see that. I felt like at first I was like, "Oh, this is gonna go left." Just seeing how is, I just had a feeling that Blaze would be similar, but it seems like they're not. So, we fast forward to Meech's house. Meech is worried about Duffy and Lazuli. Ever since the Red Dogs took them, he hasn't been able to get in contact with them. He hasn't heard nothing. So he tells Angel to go over to the club and put her eyes on the ground and her ear to the streets to see what is
Yes,
going on with the
right.
boys. So
And
they
that she does.
they work all that out. As we know, Blaze talks to Henrietta finally, and we kind of get into their relationship dynamic a little bit more and see that maybe Blaze wanted a son originally. Maybe he's not happy with Blaze and I mean not Blaze. Maybe he's not happy with Henry and her lifestyle choices. I'm not too sure on what they're alluding
I think
to,
it's
but
very clear that he don't like the fact that Henry is gay and not just gay, but like a masculine kind of gay. Because when they talk, he's like, "No, I didn't want a son. I actually just want the daughter that I raised." And he kind of just started naming like things that she is not. So that was real.
yeah. So it's like, is this really her, or is she doing this to please her dad because maybe he wants a son? Like, I don't know. Did she overhear him saying something like that when she was little?
Hmm.
I guess
That's a good question. That's a good aspect to look at it
I
from.
guess we have to
But
dive deeper into
he's
that.
basically trying to say that Terry wants to broker a deal, and Henry is like, absolutely not.
Yeah, but Blaze is like, you will do it, or you're out. Very simple. So Angel ear hustles and finds out that Greenie got arrested and implicated Meech for shooting Big Mike. And now GPI is looking for Meech and he has to flee. He has to pack his bags and leave Atlanta and go somewhere else. During this whole time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just shocked because Angel choose her fate in such a weird way instead of giving him the space to go lay low for a while and do what he needs to do. She was just so quick to be like, you know what? It's I can't assure you that when you come back, I'll be here waiting for you. I'm about to go shake my ass for Glock. And I was just
I don't,
like,
okay. If she would have just stopped that, I'm not waiting for you, I would have been like, me personally, I would just be, well, I'm gonna be in the house. I'm gonna be free. This is great for me. Like, I don't even want
just
in the
do
house
it.
anyway. Like, this is fun. I don't have to pay rent. Like, this is great. But if she just said, you know what, I'm not waiting on you, end it there. But she had to go and
Mhm.
say, I'm not waiting on you. I'm literally going. I heard that Glock pays a lot. What the fuck are you talking about? You dumb bitch. Even if you're thinking that, don't say it.
And it pissed me off so bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. She pissed me off so bad. I know what Henrietta feels now. Like, I get it.
I
Why
felt
would you
like
do that?
Henrietta at the end.
Yeah, because you had all the chance and opportunity to survive and live a better life. Like, you're not in Greeny's ass anymore. You don't have to deal with like selling yourself constantly
Right.
and barely being able to pay your bills. You have a man that's providing for you and providing a decent, if not good, lifestyle for you.
And not beating your ass. And
And
yeah,
not beating
like
your
it's
ass
insane.
and giving you the freedom to make your own money and do what you want to do without being like in your ass. Why would you not want that?
Exactly.
I just don't get it. So Meech is like, you know what? You're out. You're
Yeah,
actually
like
gonna
I can't
you're
trust you anymore.
I can't trust you anymore. You're done. So with that being said, now I feel like Angel is gonna go back to Greeny and start some shit. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think Glock is gonna be interested in having her shake her ass over there. Um Lucille and the doctor go on a date.
I love that.
I loved it. I love the scene. LaWanda kind of pissed me off.
Okay, yeah. So Lucille and the doctor are on a date, but it's not just a date. Like it's a like full outfit, full hair,
Mhm.
roller, crimpers. But even before she goes on a date, Charles is like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "I'm not even gonna lie to you, Playboy. I'm going on a date." Like they go to the steak house, they go to Morton's, they go to fuck with a child.
Oh
There's
my
literally
god.
someone singing like Countess Vaughn in the background, and they dance. Like it's a great
It's so funny
date.
because it does sound exactly like that.
It sounds
And that
exactly
was
like
my
Countess
song.
Vaughn. And they were dancing, and then he gets a page, and it is Lawanda, and turns out her ass is in labor.
And it pissed me off so bad because I'm like, you will wait till now.
But at the same time, Terry is on a date with Markeisha, and she wanted to go to fuck with the child, and she ended up going to Denny's, which is actually like Terry's restaurant, and she's
I
just
was like, why
pissed.
would she? And I would be too. And I would call CPS again, being in a situation like that. And not only that, but like during their Denny's date, while she's waiting for her eggs over my hammy, LaWanda calls and is like, I'm in labor. So now Terry's like, I gotta get my ass up and I gotta go. And she's like, wait, well, who's gonna take me home? And I'm like, you are so selfish. Like, please. This man has literally been all in your ass, making sure that you got better, providing a good lifestyle for you, despite the fact that he took you to Denny's. I can understand resentment for that. But it's like, be
He got you
sensible.
a house that you kicked him out of, and you have a new house with him. Like what? Be fucking for real, dude.
She's just ridiculous. She's so ridiculous. And I
Also
blame Lala.
understand that if you're with oh my god, wait. Also understand that if you're with a guy that has a pregnant girlfriend or on and off girlfriend, hey, she's gonna have the baby and he's gonna kind of want to be there for his kid, I think. I don't know. I'd assume so, but she's just like, how am I going to get home as if there aren't cars and taxis and buses, trains, planes, and automobiles? Like, it was just insane.
It was
But yeah, so
ridiculous.
the doctor ends up coming with Lucille back to the house and he delivers the fucking baby.
The baby.
And Charles has to witness it. So
And
not only are you low down and broke and I have to go to Wendy's every day and work my ass off it while you walk around in a fucking tank top, okay, painting your fucking toenails. But I have my real man who we were literally just dancing at Fogo de Chao. My fucking steak is getting cold.
don't you
And
hate when that
he is
happens?
finally, yes, and he is finally, you know, we're having a good time, but he's able to actually help with the situation. And all you can do is just stand there with your sorry ass son who missed the birth.
You know what? And that's a way to look at it. I do feel like I will say Charles is not as successful as this doctor, but I have a feeling that
Mm-hmm.
something is not going to be right with this doctor. And that
I
is going to be
agree.
ultimately why Lucille chose Charles in the beginning from the get go. So it's like,
Ooh, that's a good. You said that earlier.
I did. Yeah, I did. And
You did.
listen to this. Terry walks in. LaWanda's like, bitch, I already know about your ass and Marquisha. Just get the fuck out of my house. You're done. You will not be seeing the baby. This is it. Like, this is it. Like the Michael Jackson
The
tour. It's
last
done.
fucking straw.
The last straw. It's done. Like, you will not be seeing this baby. You're deleted. Terry gets pissed off because he knows that his ass is lying. And Charles knows that he's
Mm-hmm.
lying too. So he's like, you might as well just come on
Leave.
outside. Um, but prior to that, the doctor was like, hey, congratulations, son. Like, how do you feel? Like, your dad. And Charles overheard that and he's like, oh, he's not your son. That's not your son. That's not your boy. But I have a feeling that is actually his boy. Despite what Charles is saying, I'm like, that just gave me all that I needed. Honestly, I hold on to things and I'm like, there's a point in him saying this. What is that point? Is Charles aware that that's not his son? I'm going with the
I don't think
scenario.
so.
I'm going with the
Because
scenario
I
that
think
is.
that if he was aware, then he would bring it up when he's like, let's get back together because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I know what happened with you and that doctor. So, me cheating on you is not that big of a deal when you have a whole baby that I don't raise. Because remember,
You know
Terry's the
what's
younger one.
crazy too? What if Lucille cheated on him first?
Because that's what it would be.
Mhm.
Because Terry is the younger one.
Oh my
So she
god,
would have had to cheat on him. So your theory,
Lucille.
that's not my theory. That's not my theory. It would be my theory if Meech looked like him. But Meech don't look like him. Terry looked like him. So that's like
But that's what I'm
like if it was
saying.
her first child, sure. But the second child, that means that she literally cheated on him and had a baby out of it.
They had a
Like
baby
she was the Terry in the situation. Like
because I have a feeling that is
that
that
would be
doctor's
crazy.
baby. Like, and
That would be
that's why he
crazy.
called him son, and he was delivering his grandbaby, and that's all that is. Okay,
I love this
watch
theory.
what I say.
And I feel like every week you're gonna like, hey,
Let's revisit this theory, and I'm so
let's
glad that
put
they
two
brought
and two
all of this
together.
up. Um, so yeah, y'all, that's pretty much that. Henrietta burns Diz up at the end because
What did you think about the flamethrower?
I didn't like it. I mean, I
I thought
liked
it
it,
was
but I
too.
thought it was too much.
I think that it would have been better in Power because Power is fictional. And then in
Mm.
BMF, if we're going off for real life, then it's like this looks
And then her
this
just
is too
licking
much.
it. It was just like it's too over the top. Like, this is not Marvel. This is
That's
BMF.
exactly what she was giving. She was like Harley Quinn.
I'm like, calm down. While I do appreciate that Henrietta is obviously working for her paycheck in every single way, she must be the highest paid on the show because every day she brings it. Like, and it's
Even
just
in
too
her line
much.
delivery, she's like, I want to have pig today, Dad. And I'm just like, okay, we get it,
Let's
dude.
relax a
Like,
little
you
bit.
fucking hate the police.
Let's
But I mean,
calm
fuck it.
down. Let's just calm down. And I felt bad for this, but Henrietta felt it was necessary. And
What a way to go, though.
what a way to
Blaze the
go.
glory. And that's a missed opportunity if these are fictional characters. It was a mixed opportunity. They should have named the dad Henry, and then they should have named her like Blaze, like her
Thank
nickname
you,
should have been
because I
Blaze.
keep getting them mixed up.
Because then not only that, like it's easier to remember and it makes more sense because calling her Henrietta or Henry is off-putting, but she also should be known because she does like shit, like she has a sword and then now she has a
Hmm.
flamethrower, so it makes sense for her to be named Blaze. But that's just like, if I was a director, writer, producer, that's what my
If
one
you
note.
allow us
But the rest of it
access
is
to the
really good.
room.
That's the next thing. Thank you for the screeners. Next, we'd like to be in the room.
Hmm. The writer's room, please. Because I got some ideas. And we could really get this shit popping. Like we could really get this shit popping. But yeah, guys, that's the episode. So what do you think about the whole thing? Are you team the doctor? Are you team Charles? Um,
Doctor.
where
I
do
like the
you
doctor.
stand with this whole Henrietta situation?
So I see like we're doing a lot of mirroring between
Mhm.
both Detroit and Atlanta. We see that we see that what's his name? Remy is not getting the olive branch, like he's not accepting the olive branch that was extended.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that Henry is also not trying to broker a deal or anything. So it's either like, are these two characters both going to meet their untimely demise? Or is one going to smarten up and really be like, okay, this is street level play. I don't fuck with this person, but in order to get
Yeah.
myself in a better position, am I going to work with who's going to turn first if either one of them are going to turn? What do you think about it?
I feel like I am more sensitive to Remy because I do feel like he has a past. And I really do think that deep inside he is a sensible man and he looks out for his people. His intent is good.
Yeah.
That's a good way of saying it. I think his intent is good. So ultimately, I do feel like he'll end up looking out for his people and doing what he has to do to save them, even
Agree.
if that includes
Hopefully,
working with
hopefully.
Meech. I think right now Meech just left a bad taste in his mouth because every time Meech sees him, he's punching him in the fucking face. And he's just in the club trying to see some titties. Like, damn. Like
That's
literally
understandable because
every
I would not
time
want to work
Meech
with
sees
someone
him, he's like,
that's
no facial
yeah,
expression,
not
just
if you go. And it's dark, so you don't even know that he's coming up. You just see a shadow coming
a
towards you,
guy with
and
a
you're just getting your
flamingo
ass beat.
suit, like, and he's just like with shades on, like, damn, can I have a second? And he's never ready. Like, can you not sneak me?
He was
Can you at
like
least be like, hey,
baddies.
yeah, like you don't even give this man time.
Like get like a what's up, and then like okay,
No,
let me
Meech
stand
is
up at
just
least. Like god damn, on site, like the definition of on site.
I
Freaking anime
can't.
character.
It's so funny to me too. Like every time see him do that little
That's
dance and
hot to
then like
me.
punch him in the
That's hot to
face.
me. He's like like he's done it what like one other or two other times this season. He's like as soon as he spots the person, he's like, "Is that who I think it is?" Like Big Boy and ATI. No,
let
that ain't
me
who I think it is. And then
let
he's
me
just
go.
like, then like, yeah, yeah.
Hard as fuck. And then he's like, he's literally the male version of Natalie Nunn. because right after he's like, let's party. We got to make this money and we gotta party. Like that's what we
Two
gotta do.
things that they have in common. They're gonna make some fucking money and they're gonna see some ass getting shaken.
Yeah. And then they're gonna pop when needed to pop. Like they will do that. So I hope you
And I
guys
respect it.
enjoyed this episode. Next episode, like we're already approaching episode 7. Like, wow.
Right. Right. We're past halfway. We're past the halfway point. Okay, so did you like the beginning part more, or are you like favoring the part that we're getting into more?
Yeah, I'm favoring this part because now I'm more invested in what's gonna happen with Lucille and what's gonna happen with Nicole because she was popping those birth control like tons. Like she was like, I am not trying to be like Luanda, and that was just very apparent. She was
Same.
disgusted by that birth.
That was real. 'Cause anytime you see someone give birth, you're like, yeah, I don't want
And
this to
I don't
happen
know
to me
what it
at
was.
all.
I don't know if it was Terry cheating on her again and just lying about it. She was like, I cannot do this. It's
Exactly.
too
I was like, I know
much.
that's right, sis. Well, it was a great episode. I don't think it was one of my favorites. I think episode 3 might have been my favorite.
Yeah, I want to say the last one was probably mine. Even though a lot of people
Oh, you
died, I
like
just
the
thought it
yeah.
was real intense. Like it was
I think this episode was like a really good one, but what pissed me off was the whole Luanda thing, interrupting the date because I want Lucy to be treated right, and then also Angel fumbling the bag in a way that,
in a way that she
oh,
cannot recover. Like I don't see how she's gonna recover for that. And I was like, it's so random because I don't even see her character doing that. That's what was so weird about it. Like I thought she had some damn sense.
because she's
I
been
never thought that it
caring
would
for
be her.
herself, carrying herself, and then like I can't save you, I can't save you, I can't save these hoes. That's what Future said. So that's what happened.
He ain't lying. So all right,
Mm-hmm.
y'all.
Right. We'll see
Till
y'all
next
next
time.
week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.